Hello and welcome to Everyday Tarot, your daily dive into the divine wisdom of the tarot. I'm your host, Camille A. Saunders, healer, tarot enthusiast, and your local witch next door, and today I'm talking about tarot and foxes. Whether you're a seasoned tarot reader or just starting to explore, this podcast offers daily insights, intuitive messages, and practical advice drawn from the cards. Each episode is designed to help you connect with your inner wisdom, find clarity in your decisions, and tap into the energy of the universe. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, for fresh perspectives and empowering guidance from the tarot as interpreted by me. If you love the show, the best way to support it for free is by listening daily, leaving a review, and subscribing or following in your favorite podcast app. If you weren't able to attend live or didn't register in time, you can get my full tarot card creation workshop with the recording, my step-by-step method, examples of the cards I've created, journaling questions, and a PDF to walk you all through it for just $33. The link is in the show notes to purchase that now. I am going to be offering a 12-week Tarot for Transformation live course starting at the end of August. If you are interested, the link to sign up for more info is in the show notes as well. I did just update my Patreon benefits, so if you want an individual card pulled for you once a month live on the podcast during my new moon collective tarot readings, you can join the Everyday Tarot Patreon family at the lovers level for $6 a month. If you'd like to support the podcast even further, you can get a one-time individual 5-card reading in addition to all the other benefits if you join the Witch Bitch level on the Patreon. If you're local to the Greater Puget Sound area, join us at our next Let's Talk Tarot meetup group event. And if you're interested in my free PDF with the 2025 5-card tarot spread I created just for you at the beginning of this year, you can get that by joining my newsletter list. If you don't already know, I am a sex and relationships therapist and coach, seeing clients virtually all over from my home office. I love working with queer, poly, and witchy clients, so if you'd like to work with someone that doesn't judge you, is witchy just like you, and helps you learn how to deal with anxiety, chronic pain or illness, communication issues, self-advocacy, and sex, head to my website and book a consultation now to start your journey. You can find the links for any of these offers in the show notes or on my website, CamilleASaunders.com/everydaytarot, in addition to the images of the cards I pull on each episode. So welcome to season 12, where I'm talking all about tarot and animals. If you haven't listened to my other seasons yet, you can check those out. I've gone through all of the 78 tarot cards, one per episode. I've talked tarot basics, tarot and pop culture, tarot spreads, tarot and witchcraft, and tarot and plant allies. And like I said, in season 12 here, I'm talking about tarot and animals, and today I'm talking about tarot and foxes. So, foxes are a small to medium-sized or omnivorous mammal belonging to several genera of the family Canidae. They have a flat skull, upright, triangular ears, a pointed, slightly upturned snout, and a long, bushy tail. There are 12 species that belong to the monophilic true fox group of genus Vulpes, and there's another 25 current or extinct species that are sometimes called foxes. They're part of a paraphyletic group of the South American foxes, or an outlying group which consists of the bat-eared fox, gray fox, and island fox. Foxes live on every continent except Antarctica. And the most common and widespread species of fox is the red fox, with about 40 recognized subspecies. There's global distribution of foxes, and they have a widespread reputation for cunning, and this has contributed to their prominence in pop culture and folklore in many societies around the world. The hunting of foxes with packs of hounds or dogs was an established pursuit in Europe for a long time, and especially in the British Isles, and this was exported by European settlers to various parts of the world. So foxes have been hunted also. They are part of the canids family, which is like other canids are dogs, gray wolves, eastern wolves, coyotes, golden jackals, Ethiopian wolves, black-backed jackals, side-striped jackals, dactyl, and an African wild dog. So they're technically part of sort of this canids or dog species, but they are talked about as actually acting a lot more like cats. Foxes are omnivores, so they eat a lot of insects and also like reptiles and birds, but sometimes they also eat eggs and vegetation. So they're sort of most of them are generalist predators, which sort of means like they'll take what they can get and eat kind of whatever's available. But some foxes have more specialized diets. Like I guess there's a crab eating fox that obviously hunts crabs more often. Foxes do bury their food generally, so that if they find it, they will go and bury it for later consumption, to sort of have like a cache of food. And you may have seen in like nature documentaries, or perhaps if you've ever seen foxes in the wild, they have this habit of like winding up and then pouncing when they're hunting, and that can look sort of like amusing, especially if they're like in snow. They like crouch down and then they use their hind legs to leap up with a really like strong force, and then they land on top of their prey. So that is a lot of how they hunt. They also use their canine teeth that can grip a prey's neck, and they will like shake it until it's dead. So again, a lot of things that I would say are kind of like common of dog behavior. If we think about other things about foxes, so they are around all year long. They're sort of seen as cunning or agile, sly, intelligent, cautious, patient, and acting in solitude. You'll often only see one. If you do see them, they can come in red, white, brown, or shades of red. They are known for sort of having their bushy tail. I'm pulling this info from Wikipedia and also from esotertut.com, talking about the fox symbol. They are sort of distinct looking, even though they are part of this larger family that includes dogs. They are social and territorial creatures. They will form families as well and sort of work together depending on the size of territory. A typical fox family includes a dominant male, a few females who take care of the pups, and then like the pups. They are, seen as very intelligent. They are hard to hunt, and that is part of what has been sort of seen as part of their strategy or personality, is like this cunning. It says foxes have a wide array of tricks up their sleeves, adapting their strategies depending on the prey. They are observant and quick-witted with excellent visual memory, knowing their hunting grounds in meticulous detail. On a night hunt, a fox will carefully patrol its territory, listening intently to every sound. Their sharp hearing allows them to detect faint squeaks and rustling of small rodents from up to 100 meters away. And they move very silently and cautiously. They will often crouch down and sort of slink along. In winter, they will primarily hunt things like voles that are underneath the snow, and when they sense prey, they'll like dive or kind of do that hopping mechanism and like bury into the snow and grab the critter. They are very resourceful, and they do adapt their hunting towards the different prey. And each fox does have its own like territory, including hunting grounds and also like shelters. Foxes don't use dens as permanent homes like a lot of other animals of their size. They only retreat underground during breeding season or when they need a temporary refuge. So they sort of are, it sounds like almost like nomadic, although they often can, I guess, move around within the same territory. And like I said, they're very adaptable. They're very good diggers, again, kind of like other dogs. And they will actually take over abandoned burrows or dens of other critters. Often, like, they'll find them, probably kill and eat them, and then steal their home. How nice. Although sometimes it is said that foxes will share a burrow with other animals like badgers, which are often like predators. So I guess they're okay with other predators, not so much with prey or things like that. They can produce a lot of different sounds. There are a lot of different types of foxes worldwide. Like I said, they belong to the dog like family, like genus, but their behavior is often more similar to that of cats. Like, they're nocturnal, they have good night vision and hearing. Their hunting style is also kind of cat-like. They're great climbers, they jump well. Their strong claws allow them to easily climb trees, buildings, and various heights. So they can also run really quickly, and they're very sort of playful as well. Which is just kind of interesting. They often symbolize curiosity or openness, creative thinking, strategic problem solving. They can camouflage into sort of forest if they're a red fox, or snow is an Arctic fox, and they observe before taking action. So that is also that sort of like intelligence, I guess, seen as like being able to be adaptable to different things. They don't just take one approach. So on the Parting the Mists blog, there is the Druid Animal Oracle that has a fox card in it. And it says, foxes are a fine, graceful creature, typifying the beauty and harmony of the natural world. Working with the power of the fox, you will know when it is time to come out into the open and be counted. But you will also know when it is time to remain silent, to keep your own counsel. With others, you will be able to be diplomatic, and one of the attributes of the fox is being strong in counsel. One of the hardest things if you are a person working with fox powers is to ensure that your skill in diplomacy do not become dishonesty or slyness. Remaining silent or becoming invisible to watch the unfolding drama is an asset that can bring with its own special culpability if not tempered with wisdom. So when I looked up or thinking about tarot cards associated with the fox, so again, like there are some decks that have a fox in it, like this Druid Animal Oracle one. In my decks, in the Anima Mundi tarot deck, the Fool is depicted as a fox. Same with the Desert Illuminations tarot deck. They call it the Trickster. And I guess I wasn't totally sure if it was a coyote or a fox. It looks kind of similar to both, but considering that they're in the same sort of genus, I figured that would be okay. So there is this sort of like, you have both the like playfulness of the Fool card and sort of adaptability, right? If you're on the beginning of your journey and you're not quite sure what's going to happen, right? You might have to take different approaches, which I thought was interesting. And there's also this kind of like intelligence, but also like naivete of the Fool card that can come into play. And in both of these Fool cards, the fox is like on its back legs and sort of like playfully standing. And the other card that I saw associated with the fox was the Magician. And for this one, they talked about that in the Bohemian Animal Tarot, the fox is depicted as a magician, embodying its intelligence and ability to manifest desired outcomes, which I thought was interesting there as well. What else here? So like I said, that was in the Anima Mundi deck, the Desert Illuminations deck, and then the Therapist Who Tarot deck, I pulled the Magician. So let's dive in and see what the cards have to say today. I'm going to pull from the Citadel, a Fantasy Oracle deck. So asking the fox, what message do you have to share with us? What else do we have to learn? How can we use our intelligence and cunning and adaptability as we move forward today. Let's see here. Oh, I pulled the Adventurer, which is about responsibility and expectations. Okay, let's see here. So the Adventurer, it says, somehow you've ended up in a position in which the weight of expectation is heavier than you wanted. Unwanted responsibility is a heavy burden, and there are plenty of people waiting for you to fail, but there are just as many waiting to catch and help you. Don't try to face it alone. Ask for help, break the task down into smaller parts, and take it day by day or even hour by hour. If you need to, there's no great achievement than proving your naysayers wrong. Okay, so it sounds like, right, we need to ask for help, try not to get overwhelmed, and not do everything on our own. That, right, maybe our approach to hunting, like the fox, is being adaptable and not just using the same task every time. All right, so in closing, if you'd like to join me on the journey of using the tarot for transformation, click on the link in the show notes to indicate your interest to get more info. We'll be working together for 12 weeks of calls and journaling to discover what happens when we want to transform our lives through the tarot. Links for the tarot decks I talk about will always be in the show notes and on my website if you'd like to look at them or purchase them. And thanks for joining me today on Everyday Tarot. Just as a reminder, the podcast comes out daily, Monday through Friday for all of 2025. And you can email me, me@CamilleASaunders.com with your thoughts, questions, and more. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.